Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for listening today. Today is going to be a free service day. I would like to answer your questions. And the team that I have today, it is the Akashic Records. Where are they? How we can access? What it will be the benefit from me from accessing my Akashic Records? And I would like to give just a few minutes for you guys to know that I'm alive to start answering your questions. Please set your intentions, and for the questions, whenever I'm ready to read, I would like to have your name, your birthday, and a little bit more of what is available for me today, so I can really tune into, because right here I'm not seeing many of you guys do not even have picture or anything, so it's a little bit hard for me to connect and provide information accurately. And through the Akashic Records, maybe you guys can ask something like, I always wonder if I'm Pleiadian. I am more like a galactic historian than from Earth, but normally through the Akashic Records, the information that will come, thank you for being here, is going to be whatever that is necessarily to come to. I started doing Akashic Records because it was coming through the sessions, the healing sessions. I think I started like 4 years ago out of the blue, and then I did the certification, but always my approach, it has been more galactic than Earth. But if you have a question, please, you can share your birthday, your name, your profession, sometimes that helps, and then your question. Thank you so much, Adeline, for being here. I'm going to ask your guides, your higher self, to be in charge. All my sessions, all my transmissions are healing. If any of you need healing, we can do that too. And before accessing your questions, while you guys think what you would like to talk, I would like to start with a little bit of story, because I know there is a lot going on. I follow a little bit of astrology, and I am learning galactic astrology through the charts. The astrology, it is a little bit complicated. We are in Mercury retrograde, like 5 planets are colliding together. I'm not going to get into the details about astrology because I may not be the perfect expert, but astrology, guys, it's just like the influence, but each of us, we create our own unique flow, our own unique destiny, and it all depends on what we believe or what it is meant for us to express. I have been having sessions with people who are doing really good, really amazing, beautiful things, blessings coming into their life. So not everyone it is struggling, not everyone is suffering. Many people, they are, but it's all going to depend in what stage we are and what we need in order for us to grow. Sometimes we need challenges to take us a little bit, so we change direction. Like when I had my cancer, when I got divorced, when I ended up being homeless, it was hell for me. I understand I was struggling. And then I think 2 years after that, I was struggling too. I could not afford my rent, my bills. I was completely emotional, my moods, I had anxiety, I was so afraid. So we all go through stages, and this is what it may be happening for you, it may not. No, it's not a sad thing. It was a blessing. It was a blessing because I needed that. I was not doing anything positive with my life, and I needed that, so I will rechange and then become where I am, and then where I'm going to become. So everything in your life is part of divine plan. Even sorrows, worries, breakups, even death is part of that divine plan. And that divine plan, it is reading in your Akashic record. Sometimes we go in different patterns, doing the same kind of things in different timelines all at the same time, but kind of alike, like people that maybe it is a military and has been in many wars, like King Arthur's, and then it was a Roman emperor, and then probably in Egypt, and probably a warrior in Atlantis. Maybe in this life it is a doctor because it's choosing to save lives, to balance whatever wasn't being done in the highest good in other timelines. So at the bigger picture, it's all part of the plan. The Akashic Records is not something that you should do all the time, because we should be present. It's all happening in 1 second. Life is just one, this moment. It's all that it is. Because my Atlantean, my Pleiadian, my Syrian are other aspects of me, other reflections. I hope that makes sense. The new spirituality would say that past lives doesn't exist anymore. It's like an old new age view, because time does not exist. And this is a concept that is going to transform the more that I'm going to check on your questions in a bit. The more that we transition into high 4D and then 5D, we're going to feel all our aspects all at the same time, and then you kind of like unify yourself in a more balanced way. Right now, what we are meant to be, I believe, for us, it is to be in this experience present. Who I am, what happened to me before, is just the reference that give me kind of like the insights about the whys, that it doesn't make sense in this present moment. But the future is going to be the present of now, and so on and so on and so on. And the past is just time travel, because we go back into a timeline, and then you can rewrite your past, and then everything change, because that timeline doesn't apply to you anymore. And the Akashic Records is not erased, it's just you don't need to access. Like, for example, I remember when I went to kindergarten, I was taught to learn about shapes and songs and colors and the letters. I don't need to go back to kindergarten anymore, because I already know that. It's part of me. I already know how to read, how to speak, how to write, right? So lower timelines doesn't disappear. They are just like discontinue, let's say, and probably other aspects, let's advance from our oversoul. We use that for a platform to evolve. So whenever someone predicts the future, whenever someone reads to you, any healer, any psychic through cards is going to read the energy of you in the moment. Because sometimes things change. And when you access, like for example, sometimes people will ask for my boyfriend or my husband or my mom or my son. What you read, it is what that energy knows already from the third person, but you don't access that. At least I don't. But you read like the connections. So when you cut cords from your connections in this life, but you have many other lives in all many different connections. This is what the Akashic Records it is. The Akashic Records, it is like a Bible of all your experience to a time space. You do have different levels. Every time you transition, you split from source and you say, hey, I think I want to be a fish. And then you explore what will be to be a fish or a dolphin or a mermaid. When you died, that it is like heaven for the soul, because you are relieved from your burden. Then the higher self and you guys, your soul family welcome you, and then say, hey, how was it? Did you like it? I mean, it was kind of good, but then a fisherman hooked me up and then I died, right? And then we will choose if we wanted to go back or do something different. This is what I understand. But the feedback, it is reading in the Akashic Records. Sometimes, why we don't remember, guys? This is a question that many people ask. We don't remember because in this frequency it will be overwhelming to know everything that you have done. Oh my God, I'm just killing someone in World War One. Oh my God, I'm a killer, right? Sometimes we don't want to know all of those things. Or let's say that in one life I work as a doctor, and probably in this life when I see blood I want to throw up. So certain details are not relevant, so they are like dormant, right? So whenever we wake up, we are accessing those dormant. Some people call them arcs. They are like bubbles of knowledge. Some people call them rings. Some people call them like spheres. So it all depends on which frequency we match, so we access that knowledge. It's so important, I believe, this is my personal perspective, that when we woke up into the spiritual journey, whatever that is, mindfulness, Reiki, starseeds, light language, we learn a technique for us to channel our own resources. Light language is channeling, for example, for me. But whether that is AKASHIC records, channeling, pendulum, muscle testing, cards, runes, whatever can give you the clues, the insights from what it's going on is going to help you to be more in the ease side of life. But at the same time, that guidance is going to come through your intuition, through your voice, through your thoughts, through your ideas. And sometimes someone else is going to tell us that guidance. Like for me, I have my sister-in-law. She is the one who slap me in the face whenever I'm not seeing anything. She just says like, hey girl, you should do this, you should do that. Why are you saying this? Or whatever. So she's the one who will provide a critique for me, and I appreciate that because sometimes I miss things. I have a friend who also we exchange services, and then I channel for her, I do drawings, and then she does like a healing for me, even though I can do the healing for me. And I request for guidance every day, at least once. Sometimes like an objective perspective will give us something that we haven't missing. I hope that makes sense. But I do believe we do have to learn to recognize guidance in whatever form that comes through. Sometimes it could be through a post, through a movie, through talking to someone, and then you will see yourself and they will say, oh my God, I do that too. I do that. I see myself in every session. So how do we access the AKASHIC records? The AKASHIC records, you can have like your own prayer. You can create that. I'm sure you can Google it. For me, when I access higher self share with me if it's relevant, that piece of information. Sometimes guys don't give us details. Like for example, sometimes in a session, a couple was struggling like badly, and then the husband was being very unfair with the wife, and I was in a session with the wife, and then when I asked the guy said, look, whatever she's going through is fair because of whatever she did to him in this and this and this and this life. So she doesn't need to know the things that she did to hurt him. She just needs to know that it's even. It is a balance exchange for the karmic journey that they both have together. Does that make sense? So sometimes we don't need to know exactly what happens to us, but sometimes we do. We all have a different, unique journey. Okay? I'm going to do my best. The more information you share with me in your question, the more easiest is going to be for me to connect with you through the astral soul to soul, and then stay there right here. Probably I'm just gonna get few people, so I will ask you, is that resonant with you? Any other question? And then we'll go with the flow. Okay, so probably with that person I'm gonna be like 10 or 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna do whoever I can. Thank you. And just before that, I would like to share a little bit a story. And let me see if I already have access so I can read your questions right here. Look guys, I know there are a lot of things happening in the collective. Facebook crash a couple days ago. Many things that you are not expected may happen because we are in a huge transformation state. All the things that happen, they have a message for us. And I was reading Ramdas a couple days ago. Ramdas, he's a yogi, I think. He was in Harvard in that time, and then he was kicked out from Harvard because they were using mushrooms to access consciousness. So he and his friend, they were kicked out, and then he said he was all high driving, and then he went slow and slower and slower, because when you are channeling, sometimes things go in a slow motion. So a police officer stopped him. Normally when any of us, or probably I do, even though if I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, I'm gonna feel yes, Ramdas, like a little bit of nerve, right? Or like when you are traveling the airport and then an immigration agent asks anything to you, I'm just like, okay, officer, right? It's just something like by instincts, right? So this is will normally probably a reaction that I will have. So he said that he stopped, but because he was channeling, he just saw like angels coming from the police car, and then they just like guard his car, and then he was in this like channeling, hallucinating probably, and then he saw the police officer all in blue in his window, and then he said, oh my god, that blue, it's beautiful, it must be Krishna. And then he said, he thought, I think God just come down to give me a message. And then he said that the police officer said, license and registration please. And then he gave a document to the police officer, and then he was just admiring the beautifulness in the blue. And then he said that he felt protected, because he said it must be an angel, he just wanted me to be safe. And then God himself came down to give me a message, so I'm just gonna wait for it, right? Look the perspective from a situation that it will be bad probably for the majority, right? So he said that when the police officer came into his window, he said, I just wanted to tell you that you should be more present where you are, because when you are present, you will be very attentive about the things that are going on around to you, and then how you should be and respond to the street and the city. And then he said that the police officer said that he could just go and do his way, that it was all good. And then Ramdas says that I just understood in that moment that Spirit wanted me to know that I should be present in my body, in my car, driving, for me to be safe. Yes? And then he said that he was thinking in the blue, because police officers will have blue in the majority of the countries, I think. So this is something that made me think about how we sometimes react very quickly into the negative. Oh my god, probably Facebook want to hack our information, now we should go to Telegram, or I cannot share for 4 hours. Oh my God. Or probably the economy or the news or whatever. So make a pause 1 to 10 seconds before labeling whatever is happening, and know that God will speak through that. That whether it is something legal, something happening in your family, in your work, and then a message is going to be for you. Today I'm going to be who is going to be delivering the messages. Information comes not in words to me, like in feeling, and it is like life language. So interpret whatever information I have to say to you the best you can, and disregard what you think it was not accurate. It could happen, so be it. Normally I'm very accurate, but if you think I don't think it's right, it's okay, disregard it. Okay, let's begin. And if you ever lose your faith, your trust, your patience, think on the story of Adam as. Imagine if we could have the possibility to align into a different perspective and notice that God is in everything and everywhere. Let me drink a little bit. So good. Okay, let's see. If you would like to rewrite your comments, it's valid too. Let me see who. Okay, have Nicole Hendricks first. Thank you all for your support, for being here. Okay, Nicole, I'm going to ask your higher self to connect with me and to share whatever is relevant for you to know. You may sense kind of like my higher self hands holding yours. What? Okay, Nico asks, where my connections come from? Hoping the information helps you understand more of who I am currently experiencing in my path. To access the galactic information, it's best if you guys share with me your birthday, but let's see what comes through. Okay, the first thing that I'm seeing, it is gold, like glitter, like orbs of gold. And what I'm reading here, it is that I have your Akashic records open. You're connected to the golden ray, and the highest aspect on your oversoul that is in 12th dimension, like angelic. But the closest connection here, it will be to Christ consciousness. And from the stars, Sirius, I can read Sirius, like shamans and felines, not that very watery, like not Sirius B, Sirius A, I believe. And I'm seeing connections with Sumerians, Phoenicians, like the first civilizations on Earth, elemental lives as well, fairy lives as well, dragon lives, and connections with the goddess. Many of the female goddesses and ascended masters of Earth, and Egypt, Mars, Venus. Okay, you have like a beautiful lion from Sirius, like beige or gold probably with you. Let let me ask if there is anything else that you need to know right now, Nicole Hendricks. Okay, what I'm sensing it is that peace, aligned with peace, when you are peaceful, is going to be the mile marker that let you know that you are vibrating high. If you're not peaceful, be aware about what adjustments you need to do. Maybe, I don't know if that's right, but I'm feeling from you guys that maybe you have been a little bit moody or sensitive. Work on your solar plexus. Yes. And grounding. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to close our connection. I don't think there's anything relevant that I can share today, Nicole. Thank you. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go with the newest ones. Okay, Shaina asks, what do I need to know from my Akashic records that will help me on my path right now? Okay, that was quick. Okay, there are a myriad of possibilities for your future to behold. Whatever is meant to happen that you choose to happen in this reality has your name already on it. You have to learn to trust that you are supported by the universe in infinite ways, even though when you feel you are not supported. As you hold faith and trust, patience is going to come to make you a master in your own reality. Okay, work with your plexus and sacral chakra, Shaina. I hope that makes sense. Natalie, you had your birthday, but you did not ask any question. So, in order for me right now to be a little bit more efficient, please share a little bit more your question, what you're going through, your name and proof of your birthday, so I can give you like a proper reading in the best way that I can. Okay, Lily Hashan Espew. I don't think I can pronounce your name, Lily. Okay, great. So right. I feel like there always be something negative everywhere looking. Sometimes an event is not meant for us. Yes, it's more like a statement. Let me see. Okay, I can go quickly if you guys want to, but it's easy if I have a little bit more detail, so I can bring, when you ask the Akashic records, all of things come through, and sometimes you guys are going to share what they think you want to know, but maybe that answer is not what you are expecting. One way or another is going to be with the flow. Vanessa, I think you are Pleiadian and Lemurian. For what's coming to you, Natalie, Lara, and Syria, and you have you must be very fiery, like dragons. You have like fire on you. I mean, good fire. Okay, let me just go with the flow. Anna Murphy, your birthday, it is lots of 11. Interesting. Okay, Anna, Pleiadian comes like for your galactic essence. I hope that makes sense. Mary, September. Okay. Sirius and Pleiades come true. Both. You have more. Okay, it's coming like a Turian, Andromedan, Orion. Okay, let me ask. I think Pleiades will be a little bit more your essence. Mary Browers, she asked, but it feels like you were like all over the place. So you have like many aspects with you. Nicole. Okay, I already answered you. I'm gonna see if I can find someone else. Gabriel, reading information for my Akashic records. Okay, let me see. Okay, Gabriel, your body is asking for you to detox. And the first thing that I saw, it has like red, like probably red food, like tomato, beets, like sweet potatoes probably. I think you could be more grounded. So probably if you detox, whatever works out for you, probably like half day fasting or liquids or something, you will know what to do. Feels like your body, it is complaining a little bit. Okay, notice if you are drinking enough water or eating, probably you will be guided to change your diet. And yes, I don't know if you're dreaming, sleeping. I think you're not sleeping enough as well. And from your Akashic records, I'm seeing you in the water. Okay, let me ask. I think this is in the future, Gabriel. Gabriel Reed. Okay, it's like New Earth. The sky looks a little bit more pinkish and blue. It feels like the sun changed like into an older stage, and it looks more reddish and orangey than what it looks right now. And by that time, I think the ocean is going to grow more, and then we're going to have less earth. And where you live, you are close to the ocean. Okay, I don't know why we are there, but let me ask. Okay, I'm seeing that you have a family. You have a beautiful family, and you have a partner, a husband. It looks like a very organic life and peaceful life. I'm seeing that you have like 3 boys. Yes, I think. Your skin looks very Nordic, a little bit bluish, I think. And let me ask. Okay, something that I'm picking up from you guys, and the beautiful is seen in this exquisite place. It's all like blues and orange and pinks, and it looks so calm and peaceful. You have lives where you are very happy, and that all is working well for you and for the things all around you. And those lives are in all times and in all dimensions. And all the work that you are doing right now, healing, struggling, evolving, remembering, it creates a foundation for all those other aspects of you to peacefully live. So they just want to say like, thank you. This is another future aspect of you. I don't think they have karma. It feels like all like peace and light, peace and love. Kind of like hippie vibe, like Let's all be happy. I hope that resonates with you. Okay, if you do any meditation, Gabriel, with the ocean or Atlantis or New Earth or fifth dimension, you guys will show you a little bit more about what they would like to share with you. I hope that was helpful. Let me see. Anna Gelman, any message for me? What do I need to know to find my love? That's a good question. Let me see how. Okay, love is not something we find. It's a frequency we tune in, like black, peace, calm, being upset, being sad. So the more that you tune into the love for yourself and in your heart, the more that you create those situations where love is all around, the more that you are going to manifest and attract other people to share the same frequency of love with you. Everything what happens to us, we are always giving and receiving. And whatever we give, it comes to us. So align with love. But that starts for right here. We are on twin soul flame. It's just the other soul just reflects our flaws and strengths. It's just like mirroring persona that creates a connection with us at the soul level, deeper than any physical connection, where we can see ourselves through another vessel, through another eyes. But we have that same mirroring from everyone, from our family, our friends, the city, that collective is definitely a reflection for what happened within all of us. So if we would like to find love, let's initiate that we are that love we are looking for. I hope that makes sense. Archangel Michael, is it the bus of the emergency services? Yes, there are all kinds of Archangel Michaels, because depending on the dimension that we connect with. But for me, angels, at least when I connect with them, they look like Melitors or generals. Sometimes they just look like light and you cannot even see a face. But yes, he represents kind of like warrior, protection, strong courage. Let me see. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Lori McNeil, thank you for being here. Is there anything that will help me in the present moment? Okay, yes. From your birthday, you're aligned with serious connection, and you have not only 1 8, but you have 2 8s in your birthday. So that is definitely in alignment for abundance, financial wellness, everything. From all the star seeds and the races, the more wealthy star seeds predominantly, but of course we are all different. It is that I have found the Syrian ones and the Lyran ones, because their intuition is so badass that sometimes they know when to invent, how to do business, and sometimes normally, especially the Lyrans, I have seen that they are in the system in order to change it. Of course, there are the psychic ones and everything, but many of them in the readings I have found out that they are doctors, or they work in government, or they work in law, or they work in the farm business. So they are in the system in order for the system to be changed. Sometimes even I have one Lyran client friend, and then she is like a judge, and then she said, no one knows, I'm seeing their Akashic records, so I know who it is guilty. Of course you can use your gifts in your profession, and I think this is the advice for you, Lori. It is time to use your own psychicness in the physical and to breach all that goodness that you have from the all vastness of your soul into your reality, so your reality shift. Sometimes for the reality to shift after we shift, we have like a time lag, and then the time lag could seems like, oh, nothing is changing, but it will change. It's just everything else has to readjust into what we are already vibrating. I hope that makes sense. And from your Akashic records, you have a Syrian life. This looks like blue, humanoid, and you look like female predominantly, I think, even though I don't think they have gender. You are like from the Galactic Federation of Light. I see that you are like an advisor, and what they do, it is they work in the financial aspect. Look, that financial aspect in the universe is not equal to money, is equal to the exchange. So I think the financial system from New Earth is going to be that according to our exchange, we're gonna have like a pint, kind of like when you do a game and then you have coins or something. So electronically, we'll have all we need, and then because we'll be in the synchronicity, we will have and do whatever the whole needs, and this is where we are going. So money, it is the exchange we use here, but we use many different things to exchange. I'm exchanging what I know, you guys exchange so I can be here. Your support helps Facebook to help me to be here, and then we'll grow together, because every message I give to you is for me too. And then I'm just like, oh my god, I need that too, right? So it's all perfect in its own imperfection. I think that abundance, that it is essence of your soul, Lori, believe it, recognize it, and start making it work for you in this present moment. I hope that makes sense for you, that is accurate. And let me refresh to see who else. Please type back your questions again. Thank you so much for the stars. We're gonna have a very rocky 6 months according to the astrology. From the equinox, work on your peace, work on your stability, so you are not checking for whatever thing you see. Like Ramdas, try to see Krishna, Buddha, Yeshua, or the God in everything, and know that it's a higher power that is working out everything, transforming everything, so we have that new earth that we are all asking for. Okay. Sirius B, Sirius okay, Sirius B is the mermaid, right? And Sirius A is the feline ones, I think. Yes, look, we have many aspects, but I think you have both. Let me see. Thank you so much. Okay, the newest. Anna Maria. Thank you. Appreciate that. Penny L. Clark. Can you see what angels are around me? I can tune into, but you have like violet flame angels all around you. So like Zadkiel, Jeremiah, Samuel. Yes. But your aura looks purple to me. You definitely have angels. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Dear Pleiadian Council of Light, have a great day. You too. You too. Beautiful. Let me see. Okay, they say that they are honored to be with all of us, and then at the end I think I will channel them. Oh, they have a beautiful blue lily. It's a beautiful energy. Feel like the love. It feels like emotional a little bit. And I'm gonna try to hold myself. Okay, you are a wisdom keeper. You always have been the knowledge of God itself. You embrace the intelligence of what Creator of all that it is, in all forms, in all times, in all dimensions, in all versions of you, one way or another. And this is not far from what you are vibrating in all other dimensions. I hope that makes sense. Remember that all the resources, all the knowledge, all the hints and the clues that you need to know in the moment when you need them, you already have them within. So don't forget to tune inward and ask to be revealed to you whatever that it is that is appropriate for that moment in time to be shared with you. And I think they love you. Feels beautiful. I just feel high. Joanna, past life. Yes, let me see. Okay, from the series B, I'm not seeing you that mermaid, but you look more like amphibian, like humanoid that could be in water and on earth. And what I'm being shown to you is that it is a water planet that has pieces of land, more like an Iceland probably. And then the water, it's a little bit different than the water that we have right here on Earth. It looks like orangey, like pink probably. And it is more thick, kind of like paint. And at the same time, that water, it's probably more like jelly or like cream, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna share just a piece of one life. Imagine this with me. This surreal scene when the water, it is like peach color, pink, and the sky looks blue. You have two big planets that looks like suns, and then there are 5 moons that you could see. And I'm seeing that it feels like it's not like day or night, but they have more done all day, 24/7. So they quite don't sleep like the way we do. They kind of rest, take naps, more than one big sleep. I'm seeing that you are you are female. You look like female. Your body kind of look like the avatars, but with complete different face. But that skinny probably and long, and the feet look kind of like fishtails probably, yes. And your hands look more like wings underwater, like veils, probably translucent, transparent, and then you change color. And what do you do there? Okay, receive. It feels like you are investigator. You observe and then you accumulate the knowledge and then store it in a type of database. And the way that you guys write it is, I don't know if you guys have seen the Marvel movie, the one who is a witch. Oh my god, I can't remember now. The one who can create mandalas with light, and then whenever the Marvel superhero who does like codes of light. This is the way that you guys speak. I don't see that there is a language. The language, it is more like telepathically and sounds that complement the symbology that you are doing with your hands. And I think this is why you are connected with light language, because it's something that you have mastered in many other lives. And then I'm seeing that those codes are imprinted like in crystals, and those crystals are like a type of USB that keeps knowledge, like in a library for other souls, other beings, for other place to access. Even you could access that if you meditate with serious, any meditation that you feel drawn to, or put like dolphins and whales music in the background and breathe very slowly, so you allow yourself to travel. You can just imagine what I described in the best way you can, and then allow them to share with you. We feel like they are like high for the transition into 5D, so they are already like working in a collective. And just before closing that aspect, Doctor Strange, yes, yes, it kind of looked like the things that he did with his hands, like you guys were doing, but it was like, have you seen fishes in the ocean? They swim like all together. So you guys all were doing that, and then it looked like dancing all together, like a big being, but uniquely connected through those movements and sounds. And at the same time, the symbology, it is created from the flow that they were having. So I think that is a happy life, and I hope that resonates with you. Let me see if I can do anyone else. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, I think this is the... Thank you so much. Let me see, I think I can do... Okay. Thank you so much, Amber. Appreciate it. Hope it goes back to you in million blessings, all of you. Okay, Janet Mosqueda asked, she's struggling with ancestral stuff. Okay, I'm gonna ask your ancestors to connect with us. And they're showing me an agreement, Janet. You agree to clear that ancestral stuff because you are those ancestors, and you are rectifying and repairing what you have done in other timelines. In the multiplicity of your soul, you are your family monad, not only in this present life, but also in many other dimensions. This is a service that you choose to do in this life. You can always break the agreement. And if you decide to break the agreement, someone else from your others, you will be in charge from cleaning that karma. How you can cancel the contract? Okay, you can cancel the contract because you no longer feel that you need to heal anything. You feel whole, at peace, complete. Because you move into a dimension when your soul no longer needs to be healing. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You can choose a meditation for canceling contracts or cutting cords, and you can create a new agreement with your higher self and your ancestors where someone else is in charge. Another thing that you guys are saying is that the journeys become a burden when we do not embrace the process we are already in. The more that you become part of the process, you're going to flow with it, and then the heaviness from the backpack is going to become a backpack full of feathers. That makes sense. Okay, I think what they are saying it is that you're not going to feel that like, oh my god, I have to do this, because you don't have to do this. I feel like you are choosing to do this because you somehow feel responsible. But you can choose now to change timeline, and if you choose now to change timeline in December 21, you are going to change into a different path. Yes. But the more you vibrate high, the more that you will no longer resonate with that heavy healing that you are doing. Christina from Vintage AKASHIC Records at the moment. Yes. Let me see what comes through. Beautiful guides all surrounding you. I'm seeing that at your soul level. I hope that makes sense, because I don't know you, and I don't think I have ever connected with you before. What I'm getting it is that you are a mediator. You bring people into balance. You allow people, beings, stories to be connected at the highest expression of you. You have been politician, diplomatic, speaker, leader, coach, healer, in all different expressions in this life, in this earth, and in many other planes. But making peace, creating peace, it's part of your mission. I don't know if that makes sense, Christine, but I'm going to go with the flow. But I'm getting it is that somehow you feel uncomfortable with fights and crashing frequencies. It's just like, oh, that's too much, I don't want to. And it's part because you are meant to provide a stability for the energy that is all around you. You here in this life, you are you vibrate high, even though you sometimes think, oh, I don't think I'm very low. No, you vibrate high, higher than the average. That higher frequency is always harmonizing the environment all around you. So probably sometimes you are going to need time to cocoon yourself so you can be strong in your light. If you feel like doing it, it's okay that you do. But remember that every time you go out and you share space with people, you are sharing your light and your consciousness. It is a stream in such a way that they will benefit, even though they are not aware of. And not only human, but also plants, animals, and all living consciousness in this planet, like the bio collective. So the more happy you are, the more in alignment you are, the more at peace you are, the more at balance you are, the more goodness you are going to do into your reality and the reality all around you. And you're connected with very angelic guides. You have a lot of guides that come and go. I feel like you have been like everywhere in many places, but the ones that I can mention, I'm getting Avalon, the Avalon from another reality. Very magic, very mystical, very like nymph-alike. Many lives connected with the elementals, fairy, the kingdoms of earth. And the first time you came here to earth, you were for centuries just like a angel of Gaia, like angel of earth, and then you decided to be human. I hope this makes sense. But from the galaxy, I would say Pleiades, but you have many aspects with you. Many. I mean, we could be like in an hour doing this completely. I hope that resonates with you. Let me see if I can refresh this. And then, thank you, Gabriel. Appreciate. Okay, I'm not seeing new comments, so I'm going to try to go back again. Nicole, if you would like to know more about your Akashic records, you can do a session or you can meditate. I recommend at least one session like Akashic records. It's not something that you will do all the time, because whatever that you need to know, you will know one way or another. You will know. Like Ramdas, that the police officer stopped him, so God will tell him that, hey, be present. Whatever you need to know, you will know for sure, and me and all of us. But it is a skill that we have to master it through whatever spiritual technique that works out for you. Muscle testing, cards, pendulum, runes, meditation, light language channeling, or doing a session with someone else. Automatic writing. I mean, we can go like on and on and on about all the things we all can do to source the spirit and to source the information. Is there anything in my consciousness that I need to forgive, or as a forgiveness? We always have things that we need to forgive, Lori. That's a very, very good question. Heather, I'm going to go with you, because in this life we are healing and healing and healing and healing. It's part of this reality, and probably it will end whenever we transition, and it's part of the journey. But the more you focus on the things that you need to heal, or I need to heal, or that are wrong in the world, more things are going to appear and appear and appear, because then the ancestors of the family are going to say, hey, she's healing a lot, let's give her this and this and this and this. So a way for us to heal too, it is shifting into higher, shifting into a reality where I feel complete, all is well, and I don't need to be healing. And then remember, in this reality, I think we go for seasons. Some stages we do a lot of shadow work and it's fine. Some stages all is good, like in unicorn, marshmallows, whatever. So it's all part of the journey. You could do some Ho'oponopono and forgive, or you can do some tumbling technique. This is a Buddhist technique where you bring love and forgiveness for yourself, but also for all others in the world. And this is something that you could do in minutes. I think sometimes where we lack it is because we are not constant. We go from one spiritual teacher to other to see which fit the most, and then because we don't have consistency, sometimes things don't work in the physical as a proof, even though everything works out because it's part of divine plan. I hope that makes sense. So yes, forgive, heal, do your meditations, but at the same time, enjoy life as it is. Find your own happiness, your own love. Let's create those moments. Let's smile more. This world needs more happy people. How beautiful it will be if we'll go out and everyone in the store, it will be happy, and then in our work and then in our family, it will be awesome. This is what we all want. But what if we are in our 5 minutes of sadness or upsetting, and then someone is so happy and then we just crush them with our own madness? That could happen too, and maybe it's part of what it's meant to be. But I am in charge of my own energy, and you are in charge of your own energy. I hope that makes sense. I am responsible for the energy that I bring into my world, but at the same time, the energy that I bring into myself. So the more that we are awake, aware about where I am, like rather than as, am I present, or am I worried about stuff that may not even happen, or I am right here, surrendering to whatever it is. And I think this is a simple thing we all can do to be more aligning to a higher light. Whenever we are good in a higher light, suddenly you don't have questions, it's all good. It's all part of the plan. You think very positive. It's all working out. I like my hair. I look beautiful today. Food was delicious, right? And we all have those moments that we felt so inspired. But it's something that we create, we tune into, and we have to develop that capacity to see the better picture, I think. Heather, I'm going to close with you, and then I'm going to be really guided, because the energy was beautiful, to do like a little bit of healing for all of us. And I'm doing a detox today. Starting to get hungry, but let's see how it goes. I don't know if you wanted to ask about your Akashic records, Heather, or not, but I'm going to ask you guys to share whatever that is meant for you to know. Okay, you have many lives as elemental. I'm seeing you like being a flower, and it felt like, oh, the aroma was so beautiful. And then I'm seeing that in another life you are like orbs, like part of the light. And then it's a beautiful experience because I can see myself going to a slow motion and then touching my other orbs of light, and then we're all in the ray of light, like juggling and tingling together. And then it's just like, oh my god, so good, because I don't have to eat or do anything. It's just completely heaven. And then I'm seeing that in another lives you are like a mythical creature from the ancient Greece mythology. I'm seeing you like a nymph. I'm seeing you like in water in the flowers, and you look completely adorable. Like heaven. You have like beautiful brunette, curly, long hair, all decorated with flowers, and your skin looks so pink. Your eyes look very blue, like deep indigo blue, and you are like so stylish and tall and completely beautiful, that I'm seeing you as just like, okay, what I am seeing, okay, like hanging out like in a lake with other nymphs. This, okay, let me ask, like, what type of nymph you are? Okay, I think it's just like an earth angel, like a guardian of the elemental kingdom, if I'm correct. And then when you were being drawn to Lemuria, when you were in Lemuria, you were like an animal communicator. You were like a council of the elders of Lemuria, and you were part of the council, and you were like the voice of the elementals. So every decision they would do, they will ask Gaia, okay, what do you think if we build this building here? You guys will be okay? It feels like in that timeline in Lemuria, the space was so honored, kind of like the Japanese. The Japanese have like a costume that they will greet the space before they enter. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I had a Japanese friend, and then she said that there's the reason why they took their shoes off before entering, because it's just like the space where you are being received, so you have to honor that house, that restaurant, that building, because that building has a memory, and I think that's why they have the feng shui thing. So it's kind of like it was your thing, Heather, back then, kind of like a connection between the spaces, the elementals, the beings that live with us in the ethereal dimension, and then the humans, so harmony will be always match. I hope that makes sense. And with that, thank you so much for all your questions. I'm going to be doing this next week as a service. I appreciate your stars, your support. Remember that, just very quickly, we have meditation 5:55 a.m. and p.m. as a free service. You guys will get whatever you need because this is the intention that I set. I appreciate the ones that meditate. If you would like to know what days, the time that is going to be in your country, just log into the Facebook page and go to frequency in the calendar for the events, and then you will know what dates I'm going to be live as a free service and what days we're going to have meditation. This Sunday is October 10/10/11, and it is a portal like the Lion's Gate, like the 11/11, 12/12. So I'm going to be live doing a meditation with the angels because it is going to be the opening for the Archangel's Healing Meditation Pack that we're going to start. So if you guys would like to meditate with me that day, I'm not going to be answering questions. I'm just going to be the bridge for whatever that we'd like to come true, and I'm sure you guys will receive a healing. I'm sure. So set your intentions. If you would like to know more about when I'm going to be live or not, please check out the calendar. For the ones that are with me in the Facebook group, I'm sending invitations whenever I'm gonna be alive. So maybe you guys would like to check. The Facebook group is just a very cozy group that started with that my people, yes, that's awesome, my people from the courses, and then I really would like to keep it small and cozy, and you guys can post your stuff, questions, whatever you're going through. If you guys would like to request healing, or I'm going through this and that, please feel free, the ones that are to post it there, and then our community will support if you guys want to. But let's keep it positive and welcoming for all of us. And this Sunday begins the Archangel Healing Meditation course. It is 14 meditations. It is $28.88. It's just $2 for meditation, and you guys can do those whenever you want to. They're all healing, and that's it. Let's do a little bit of language. Okay, I'm going to do pure light language, and this is the Pleiadian 9-dimensional Pleiadian Council of Light, I think. Ela ki te kiara ko ala mi ete iki eshka. Nina te ti esa oko te iki atakora ni ala. Ela te eki eshka to uso ni iti iki ishka. Nina te asa koe ki a te kashka tomake ya ki a ta francena turus seri ki eshka tini ki a te ka. Ela leala maniene on sini te ki eshka ti ikeba. Mera turu usai ki ana. Ena ate ese kore etere ki eshka te ikiana. Mena te koro utro use ki eshta. Eki ena te eki ara koro usa. Ena te e koro ma esa kutoro oke ese. Miene iki teki eshka. Oku ite iki a koro oke ese ka. Minena te ki ara koro otere ese kara kure kiena. Eala eane miena ti ishka ni alai kite kia komai ki eskato usa. Usai ki nakete aparasi ki iska. Nimfrin suruturu akara iskete iki ena. Minenate iki ishta. Hissa hakute. Ite isaku. Ini iki ishka tu. Ma ni ti eseko ashkete iki isa. Nina te kiara koruma ese iki ishka. Nina sa iko ete iki asakuiti iki ishka. That was good. That was high. I'm gonna thank these Pleiadians beings. I'm gonna ask them to ground all of us. And our guides. Thank you so much for the support. I'm grateful. I'm high, I think. It was a long time of channeling. Appreciate very, very much, guys. We can all grow together, connect, and then keep learning about our own selves through the reflection of each other. So my gratitude. See you guys, remember, in our healing circle, 5:55 p.m. or I.M. Pacific time, in the Facebook page, Encoded Frequency. And whenever I'm going to be live, I'm going to set a calendar day so you guys know. And thank you so much. Keep whatever that resonated with you and disregard the rest. Always trust your channel first. And for the ones, thank you. For the ones who would like to join me live in a meditation, Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, this 10:10 in the Facebook page. I'm going to be live, and then I'm going to upload it on YouTube for everyone. And the ones that are with me in this new course, I'm going to send the material Sunday for you guys. But the meditations are so gentle and soft that I'm sure you are going to fall asleep and enjoy it. This is not, it's going to be hard work or anything. It's just like gentleness and peaceful and nourishment, and we will just go with the flow. Have a beautiful day, and remember to smile and to share your smile with others. Sometimes it's all we need to create change in the world. Okay? Love, light, and blessings.